Hello and welcome back to the Tactile tutorial. I am Danceray and today we're going to be looking at skills. Everybody's favorite and or maybe least favorite thing about modern Fire Emblem. So as you can see on the in the actors tab, you can see that there's an option to add skills. This would be like, if you wanted like a personal skill. Let's say you want to have Brock want him to have, well, don't give him drunk. I'll explain what that means in a second. But so you want to have like, I don't know, steel, but you don't want the class to have the steel. Then you would actually apply it as a personal skill for the actors tab. However, if you wanted to have it as a class skill, obviously you'd add it over here in the abilities. Bada bing, or savior, I guess in this case. But let's say you don't want to do that. You're like, I've looked at these lists of skills and I'm not impressed. I want to add some other skills. How do I do this? Alright, so you're going to need Visual Studio for this section. This is not for the faint of heart. This is for people who have some sort of coding background, because you're going to have to know at least a little bit about C# or C++, because the two languages are pretty similar, or Java. But you're going to be literally writing your own skills. Now, there's a lot of skills that already exist in here that you can utilize for your reference points to make things a lot easier for you. But yes, you're going to have to write your own skills, which is good and bad. Bad if you don't know how to code, good if you do. But this is just going to be a basic rundown. I'm not going to be coding a bunch of skills here. I'm just going to be showing off a couple simple ones, probably ones that people would end up adding. So let's just let's look at some skills from other existing games. Let's look at Awakening, the beginning of the end when it came to the skill distribution. So what do we have over here? So let's see, we got Dual Strike. We don't have one of those types of units in the first place. Charm. Now Charm actually already exists, I want to say. Under the guise of, I believe, Prestige. Prestige might actually be a strong version of it. If I can find it. There it is. Yeah. Well, it's hit and avoid versus hit and crit. I kind of feel like that might be stronger. But I mean, let's say you want it to be that. So let's make Charm, because it's right there. So first you want to make a spot for it. So call it Charm. Now the identifier is what you're going to need to remember what it is. I typically make it either the exact same skill name in all caps, or I'll have it some sort of shortened version. And hit, avoid, +5 for allies within 5 spaces. Oh, no wait, is it 5? Is it? No, it's 3. Okay. That seems like a lot. Alright, cool. So that's what our skill looks like. Boom. Let's go to Brock, add it, make it his personal skill, Charm. He is a charming boy, after all. Now, if we were to run the editor now, we can hop into our test map, chapter 1. And there you see Brock has Charm now. It'll automatically appear at the top because the ordering that the game processes it is, it goes the actor's skills first, followed by the class's skills. By default, the maximum skills are quote-unquote 4. You can have more than 4 skills. I'll show you what it looks like here. Let's just add a bunch of stuff. Yeah, sure, guts and knife and crossbow and steel. Sure, it doesn't really matter. But I'll just show you quickly what that looks like if you have more than 4 skills on the screen. It doesn't crash. It's just you're not going to see everything. You're only going to see this up to this 4. I'm going to show you the top 4. You're not going to see anything else. In reality, he has 2 other skills, but you can't even see them. You can change this in here, if I remember where it is. In fact, I will cut back when I do figure out what it is, and I will edit that into the video. I'm not gonna waste time looking for it right now. But oh wait, no, we want a charm. Whoops. Okay. Now, Brock has the skill. The skill has it exists in here. It has its own identifier. So how do we actually get it to work? So we're gonna hop into the unit editor. We're actually gonna go and look for prestige, since it's the closest thing we actually have to the skill already. So right here is prestige. It's just simple control find. These are the two tabs you're gonna be mainly using when you look at skills: game unit skill and game actor skill. There are other CS files that have skill use, but they're not really going to be, they're not as common. So let's start off with prestige. Now prestige took us where to hit because of the hit skill. So let's make charm. Sorry about that. That is my phone. Now here's where your identifier goes, right here. So it's saying, does this actor have this skill, and then it looks for the identifier. So if I were to put like this name, it wouldn't recognize it at all because it's looking for the identifier. Now we have the basically how the seal works. This actually isn't right here. It's actually a little bit later on in there, but so global.scene that is map scene. Oh my goodness, my phone is going crazy. And well, we don't really need the hill target. It's not necessary because this is an ally skill. I'm not really sure why it's written in prestige. That's kind of weird. And not global game map. Oh man. Is off map. Nope. Okay. So this is saying, are we on the map? Yes. And we're not off the map. Essentially referring to this little area over here. So what this is saying is that the skill is not going to affect tiles over here because they're not real tiles basically. They're the border. So if you have a border and you have a skill like this, it's not going to affect anything on the border, which makes sense because nothing on the border does anything anyway. I don't know why I didn't just copy paste this. That makes way more sense. I just don't really understand. I don't really agree with the hill being here, but that's not important. So for every unit within the range. Now this is where we're setting the range. We said we wanted it to be 3 tiles. Let's go back to what I did by accident and let's just make it 5. So 5 tiles now. Pretty big. And now, honestly, you can copy this exact skill because it's literally the exact same thing that we're already viewing. It's just slightly different calculations. Unit actor has skill charm. Now this is identifying the actor as a unit, which sometimes is necessary. Usually when you're on the map, you need to check skills like this and not just as actor has skill, because you're not looking at the actor. Because it's saying this skill is checking other units that aren't the unit with the skill. It's saying, is Liam in range of a unit that has the skill charm? And is that unit not an attackable team? Meaning, are they either allied or are they NPC? If this is true, you give him 5 extra hit. And in this case, is your base hit because it's the hit skill routine. And then break, meaning that after we've hit it once, doesn't matter how many other units have this skill, only one will give a boost. Let's say you want it to be unlimited, you would remove this break. That way, every single time there's a bunch of units with the skill, you would just scale up in terms of the boosts. And now we add it in for avoids. We can basically just copy what we just did here because nothing's going to change. And let's look for avoid skill. And let's do the same thing there. Just throw it in here. As long as it's not inside of another routine, it doesn't matter where you put it. No red lines, means we're all good. All these variables exist in this routine, as I thought they did. So now we are 5 avoid within 5 tiles. Cool. We're gonna run via Visual Studio to actually compile this change. If you just run the editor, it wouldn't matter because the editor didn't know that your code has been compiled. So now, Brock actually has charm, but we can't tell because they have no allies right now. Also, I forgot to change the name. I'm gonna change the description. Let's play test. So, here's Jerry. Jerry has 101 hit and 15 avoid. Let's move Jerry outside of the range. Let's move Brock all the way over here. Aha! Jerry's hit is dropped and his avoid is dropped. So the skill is indeed working. Now, to make sure that it's not affecting the enemy, they're hit 120, avoid 19, move Brock away from them. Remains exactly the same. So the skill is indeed working properly. But maybe you wanted visual indication. You're like, oh, like, I know the skill's working, but what if I could, like, literally see it? So let's look at that. Now Prestige, again, still has what we want, an aura. So we're going to go and add another one of these. The reason that you're going to want to use comments a lot is literally so you can find things quickly. It's the easiest way to find stuff. If you're commenting it and you're describing what it actually is, then you understand what you did in the past. You don't have to try to remember everything. It's a good practice to have just in general. Okay. Right. And then we're going to look where our aura is called. Right down here. Oh wait, we've gone too far. Never mind. Hold on. Okay. Aura color order. And here is the aura colors themselves. Let's just have it the same color as Sanctifies. Sure. Add another in. Call it Charm. So this has to do with what the base color is, and this has to do with how the color will be shifting up and down as frames pass through. And then we'll add in Charm at the end of this list. And we'll add in Charm here as well. Vector that has skill. Turn. Charm. Bada bing. And Charm's radius, as we've already determined, was 5. So, no, what are you doing? Boom. Now let's run it again. Aha! You can see the little visible aura. It's kind of faint, but it is there. Maybe the color wasn't the best choice. But we can see the aura's radius is now within 5 tiles. I don't like that color. It's very, very pale. Just take prestigious colors. Just so we can see it a little bit better, and also change its description. Okay, it's just the map that's making it difficult for me. But I can see it, just vaguely. These colors are not the best. Colors are sort of a... What's the word I want? Honestly, that looks better. Trial and error. You'll find colors that look better, and you go with those. If you want the visual art to begin with. Maybe you don't like that. But that's a simple one. That's Charm. So let's find another one. Let's do... Oh, Ether. Okay, activation skills. Those are complicated. So let's look at those. I don't even know if I want to make one though. It's a lot of stuff, but let's just look at them at least. So one I usually reference is Soul, just because Soul is simple enough to look at. Now there's a lot of locations where these skills are going to be called and looked at. Here is essentially your entire routine. So let's, I mean, why not? Let's try to make Ether. I don't know if it's actually going to work properly. I think it will. So we want the whole routine. I don't really have it. Okay, cool. So we're going to make our own new bool. Ether activated. Ether activated. Ether activated. So this is a checking to see has the skill been activated, and this is the secondary check seeing if the skill's been activated. You do need both of them. Okay. If my memory does serve correctly, this uppercase Ether activated is checking for the reset on the cooldown, while this lowercase Ether activated is actually applying the effects of said skill. So that's all I believe we'll need here. So let's look at our next stuff. Sorry. So we're jumping here to reset skills. Yep, see? Yeah. This is how you... Yeah, I guessed correctly. Cool. They're activated. Else. Case. I wonder if I can just tell it to activate Soul and Luna at the same time. Or I need to physically... I don't know. I mean, we could try. We could find out ourselves. We could find out together. Activate Ether. Okay. Oh, what the heck? Where am I beacon? Okay. Soul activated. Yep. We have all these. We have that. We have that. Grab that. Okay. This is the stuff we want, right? Yes. Okay, it's hitting his crit. Yep. Okay. Just double checking. You don't want to just mindly copy paste. You want to actually make sure that what you're copying and pasting is actually relevant to what you want. Okay. And then. We're going to add in our mastery list. And it does heal. So we'll throw it in there. Okay. No, I still wanted that. Whoops. Okay, don't need that anymore. I remember when Ether was Ike's skill. Shame, not anymore. So this is for if you wanted the skill to charge. By default, Soul and Luna both do charge in Vexna, so I could make it that, or I could make it an activation skill, like Bastion is. They're a little different. But this doesn't affect this. This is just for like if you put a skill down here, it doesn't actually make it charge or work in battle. This is just for organization purposes. We're gonna have it be an in battle, so I'm gonna throw it in here. How does Ether activate? What's that rate? Skill and a half? Okay. So we want stat labels, skill over 2. All right. I spelled ether wrong. Right, yep. Skill animations. This isn't actually that necessary until you actually add a skill like shine thing. I don't know how to explain it. I can just show you it though. If you go to like the animation editor, we go down to the effects. Ah! So loud. Oh, actually it's in spells. And oh no, it's in skills. Duh. See, you can see this is what Soul actually looks like when it's activated. This is what Ash looks like when it's activated. Luna. Spiral Dive. But that's what this would be calling. It's calling those right here. See from the animation ID from the abstract. But we don't have one of those currently for Ether. But I could probably just make one and throw it in there. I have not tried that before. Maybe we'll try it today on video. Why not? Abstract Ether animation ID. Cool. And a skill map effect. Same idea. Keep spelling ether wrong, and it's pretty pathetic. Actor.ether activated. Return global. Skill from abstract. Ether. You getting the point? Is this easy enough to follow along what I'm doing? Hopefully it is. This is the live stream, so I can't hear responses. Okay, so here we're seeing the skill. We're actually going to see what it would be doing a life steal. Now, Ether, I believe by default heals half. Oh no, it actually does 2 strikes. Making it do 2 strikes is kind of, it's a little bit of using Astra as well. So I need to look at Astra as well. But it has multiple different damage calculations because one halves defense and one heals. So let's look at Astra real fast. Let's see where it. Astra decides to add attacks. Let's see. Hits, no. Actually, no, because it's not going to work properly with the animation. I just remember this, so it's actually not even worth the while to do that. Let's go back to the immediate lifesteal, which I believe was down here. Where are you? Here we go. So we're going to make it like Heroes Ether, where it's both effects at the same time. We don't want full damage though. We probably want half. So, because you're doing the half defense thing. Hush, phone. Okay. And activate the masteries. No, we don't want this because this is for when we're physically adding. Like, we're actually going to use the mastery skill. Let's see if I can just show you what I mean. As opposed to just spitballing here, because spitballing is no use to anyone. Okay, so let's add ourselves a unit that has a charging mastery. I didn't make one yet. Okay, so real generic. Where's Paladin? Paladin, there we go. Paladin. And you're at least level 5. That's all I need you to be. Okay. You see Soul here, it has a bar because it's a charging mastery. And when it's actually ready to go, oh, he has no weapon. Crap. You have any weapon levels? No, you don't. Okay. Now you do. Jerry, give him the Iron Lance, please. Okay, go get him. Now, you can see there's a soul option. So let's say he was missing some HP. I don't know how he would have missed an HP. He's killing everything here with ease, but let's just send him here. Okay, he's just gonna destroy everybody, isn't he? I didn't consider this. Well, somebody please hit him. Oh my goodness. Please! Just hit him! Oh my gosh, this paladin is too strong. Oh, there's Surge. Can someone attack me, please? Finally! Okay, he's taking damage. Okay. So we can actually see it in action. We'll use Soul. Yeah, I'll write the skill activates, damage happens, he heals. And of course he destroys Misty because, duh. Of course he does. Alright, that's what that means though. Took way longer than I wanted to explain what that was. Don't need that. Let's not block the rules. Hit Checo. I believe this is not everything we want though. Now we need to find Luna, because Luna has the other part of what we need, the damage. So, okay. So, skills, Ether. Now Ether by default actually doesn't, Infectsma actually doesn't have the target's defense. It increases the damage of the weapon by 2. Reasoning for this most likely is because most of the time your enemy is not going to have that much defense, that the damage output's going to be worth using the skill in the first place. Which I kind of agree with. I kind of run into that problem a lot in regular Fire Emblem games. Heroes, obviously, because everything's inflated, it actually is completely relevant. But not really here. Is more these Lunas are more like FE 4 and 5 critical hits. So we want Ether activated, checking that, and we're going to double our. Let's not double the weapon damage. Let's damage our actual damage. Or is that not? No, actually no, that's not good. Don't do that. That's like Glimmer. Yeah, we'll double the weapon damage. We'll triple it. Why not? Why not? Who's gonna stop us? Okay. Yeah, you could do that, but the defenses aren't high enough in the first place. Now, right, cool, awesome, all that is there. Now, I believe that's all we need. No, wait, no, it's not. Now I need to look at Bastion. Because Bastion is an in-combat active skill. It needs to roll the RNG rate. So, no, it's already doing that. Okay. Yes. Okay. Yep. Oh, okay, that's something we should add, is a null check. So let's find Ether and throw in a null check, because it's an in-combat effect. Oh, well, no, it's already checking that, okay. That should be all we need for Ether. Now the thing is, it's harder to actually, in order to actually get it to happen, it's not easy to do that. So actually, let's just make it a charge, just for the simplicity's sake. So, let's go back to Soul. Yeah. So we'll do this case Ether. After that, activate Ether. Okay, cool. And break. And bam. Alright. And now we'll need to actually create ether, the identifier, 2 damage, heal 4 half damage, dealt. Save that and let's give that to somebody. Let's give it to Jerry. Jerry's running around with ether. Why not? Okay. Let's compile this so he actually has it. And let's run Visual Studio because that's where we did all the code editing. Okay. Jerry. Yeah, this is ridiculous ether. Okay. Oof, it's a long charge because his skill is very low and it's half of that. Well, we got it. Alright, so he needs to be damaged for this to be relevant. So we can actually see it happening. So he still takes 0? Oh my goodness, Jerry. How much do you do, Daisy? 4. Okay, well, it's better than nothing. Actually, let's give you some damage. So you can actually do some damage back. Okay. Okay, she missed. She missed twice. Jerry, stop it. Jerry. Jerry, why? We need to stop Surge from doing his nonsense. So let's just. Hey, don't do nothing. Just stand here for a second. Jerry, how did you dodge both? Come on, dude. Alright, you gotta heal Daisy. Alright. No, attack Jerry! Okay, Surge has no weapon. I guess that makes sense to attack him. Okay. Alright, this is going well. You know what? Surge is gone, okay? Stop attacking him. Go after Jerry. No, why are you going after Brock? What are you doing? Oh my goodness. He has 6 to... Ay, ay, ay. Please, I just want to show off Ether actually working properly. And she's healing. Please, just hit him. This is almost perfect. This is actually almost ideal. Because she's at full health, he's at low health. So, we'll ether. Now, unfortunately, the battle preview is not going to show me what's going to happen when I ether. But let's see. As you see, the damage went all up to 37, and I healed for 15 damage. Which is half the damage I did to her, because she had 30 HP. Bada bing, ether did work. Now, it wasn't really clear, because there was no visual indication of him activating the skill, but as you can see, it did work. And we can do it again. Bang, bang, boom. Bang. Jerry's doing well for himself. Kind of. And if you're wondering, yes, it did double the might of the weapon before Open Triangle Managed. So, cool. Ether's working. Let's find another one. Let's go for something more... Defense plus 2 already exists. This is kind of a weird thing to even determine. I don't really even know how they did this skill, because you have to, like, what counts as indoors? A floor tile? I don't know. Rally skills. Okay, no. These, I don't actually know how to code in this yet. Or have... No, this is a type of command skill, and it's... Yeah. That I'll have to get back on. That's a more advanced thing, because you have to basically write... There's no skill that already exists you can reference to write the rally skill, essentially, is what I'm saying. Bandage already exists, we already have Astra. Sword Fair? You do Sword Fair? Does anyone have a sword? Brock has sword ranks. So let's go with Sword Fair. Or no, give Surge Sword Fair. Why not? He's there. Also needs to have the right weapon rank. Killing Edge is a B rank. I need to make it a C rank so we can actually wield it. And he doesn't look like a complete clown when he shows up on the battlefield, like a fool. But instead of making it that type of skill, an active skill, let's make it a class skill, just so we can actually see when it comes into play. Oh, I have to make it first. So, Sword Fair. And we'll call it Sword Plus. How +5 when using swords. Okay, and we're gonna make it a. Actually, no, I should give it to the knight class because we can see the difference between using Sword Fair and when you have a sword equipped versus a lance equipped. So that's more easy to tell. For Surge, we can do like Axe Breaker is not really that different from what Sword Fair would be. Armor stuff already exists. Ooh, we could do Patience. Okay. So let's do that. All what's it called? Turn type skills are kind of done the same way. Patient. Okay. So give Surge, Patience. Okay. Brock's class of the Knight has Sword Fair at level, level 1. Okay, that's fine. Cool. Now we gotta write them. So let's hop into here. Now the best thing to reference for Sword Fair is... I've written Sword Fair before, I'm just trying to remember if there's actually a reference or I just did it from nothing. It might actually not have a reference point, but it's not a complicated of a skill in the first place. It's just a damaging skill. Maybe... oh, I guess the crossbow kind of is a relevant skill. Whatever, we're gonna write it. Sword Fair. So, if target isn't null, so it's not gonna show you it on the status screen. It only show you on the battle forecast. And target. So the target doesn't have the skill Nihil. I don't know how the bird's pronounced. An actor that has skill Sword Plus. And now we have to check to see if he's actually using a sword. So if actor. No, not actor. If weapon dot main type name is sword. So we're seeing, is this a sword? Skill damage plus equals 5. Boom. That's it, not too complicated. Now Patience, we'll want to look at our Void skill. Isn't it's hit and avoid? Okay. Where's hit? This is hit, right? Yeah. Okay. So skills, Patience. Again, this is another skill that doesn't have a reference point. So we go if actor dot skill. No, we want to check the Nihil first. If target isn't null, target and okay. Actor that has skill. Patient. And now we need to see what phase it is. So if global dot, oh gosh, what was it again? It's been a very long time since I've used it. It might be lowercase global. Hold on, let me actually grab the right reference point. Alright, so I have found what I wanted. Global.gameState. So this is patient, which means it's actually, you don't want that. GameState dot, is it turn? Yeah, team turn. Actually, no, I don't want not global. That doesn't make any sense. Doesn't equal team. So this is saying, is it not my turn? Now, technically, this isn't actually enemy phase because this skill would activate on like NPC phase, but NPCs aren't attacking in the first place. They're not attacking the player. That makes sense. The wording of enemy in Awakening only just means, it really just means not your phase. So this is what this is doing. So it's saying if it's not my turn, not my phase, actor hit plus equals 10. I didn't spell patient right at all. Wow, I'm and hit up the avoid, same idea. Except we don't want that, we want avoid. Boom. And I believe yep, okay, cool. Fingers crossed I actually spelled patient right. I probably didn't. Knowing me. Alright. Let's turn the AI off. Let's just wait for Surge to show up. There he is. There he is. Champion. Mr. Surge. Now. Let us recruit him. Just so we can easily see what we're doing. Oh yeah, what was the other skill I added? Not Ether. Oh, it was Swordfair, wasn't it? Yes, yes, okay. So, let's show that off as well. Now, Iron Lance is doing 21. Base damage is 19. Adding 2 from, adding 3, because by default the weapon triangle actually has 3 defense. 3 damage, and this Marine has 1 defense, so that equals 21. Iron Sword has a 17 base might, no weapon triangle advantage. However, 21 damage, because you're getting that plus 5. So, Swordfair is indeed working. Now, I need someone to attack Surge. Misty will attack him, okay. So his hit rate is 45 hit, and his avoiding, and her hit rate is 90. So let's remember that. Turn AI back on, and let Misty attack Surge. Okay, yeah. I get it. Swordfair do damage, though. Yeah, I get it. You wanted to die. I don't know why. Okay. See? We've jumped up plus 10 hit, and her hit rate is dropped by 10. So patience is indeed working. I keep forgetting I made that burn status. I'm almost like, what's happening? Oh, they're burned. Right. You know, I never did go into what burn was going to do. Let's code burn. You know, I don't. There's no reason not to. So, first we'll need to go into the skills. We actually need to create a burn status. I mean, a skill for burn to utilize. I'm gonna actually move it up a bit, just with so it's with the other skills. 26. Cut weapon might in half. Just so I know what it does. Jump to our status effects. We'll go into that burn effect. Oh, let's move that up. And the skills, which now comes relevant, we're going to be using as burn. It's going to do a little bit of damage. and it's going to have the burn effect. And our burn effect will be damage, 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 damage. We'll call this one a status because it's not really a skill. Status burned if actor has skill burn. Actor is burned. We're going to take our actor, our weapon damage, divide equals 2. So we're cutting it in half, just like what burn damage technically does in Pokemon. It cuts your attacks damage in half. Our attacks in this situation are, well, if they're physical. So we can actually add that as 2 if, oh gosh, no. If not a magic. Right? Is it just not magic? Yeah, not magic. Boom. Oh wait, I need to, right. I did not compile it here yet. This is important. And we're just gonna make a random enemy, some random units, so I don't have to go all the way to Misty just to get the burn to work. So let's just, let's have a second Misty. 2 Misties, why not? And 2 Brocks. Actually, no, not 2 Brocks. I don't want 2 Brocks. 2 Jerrys. No. Dwayne. Whoever this guy is. Okay. Alright. Now, as we know, fire's gonna inflict burn. Killing Edge's might's 11. So he's doing 17 damage to me right now. Now let's see what happens when I burn him with this fire. Damage got cut significantly. Dropped all the way to 11. Why is that? That's the base damage. His damage output should, in theory, be 20, but it's only 14 because of that burn. Yikers. So, it's a pretty basic overview of skills, I think. We got ourselves a status effect, we got ourselves a mastery skill, which I didn't plan on making, but I did it anyway. We have a turn orders type skill with patience. We have a simple skill that's just adding flat damage with sword fair. We have an aura type skill with charm. So those are pretty much all the skills most of you are going to be using. I would say the only ones that I would add to this would probably be rallies, but again, I would have to figure out how to actually code these in Tactile. I've never done it, and they don't exist currently, so it's not a simple, nothing to reference point. You have to build it from scratch. So on a secondary video on these skills, we'll be covering more in-depth things like that, like the rally skill, or if you played my other project, older version of Fractured Realms, you may remember that Migos had a skill that allowed him to just open doors and then keep moving, which is not balanced at all, but it's definitely possible to code something like that. Let's see if I can find other examples of skills that might be of some interest. Okay, so let's see, what do we have? Fuck has Garrison. That's an aura type skill. So it's a similar implementation as Charm was. The shield's giving extra defense. The weight thing has to do with actually her attack speed, which is that's more of an in-depth thing. Obviously, you can see it. It adds a little bit of weight to all of her weapons when she's wielding a shield. Let's see what we got on this boy. Ah, this skill. Not balanced at all. Well, I don't need to go down memory road. You play the game or don't. I don't know. But yeah, that's gonna be it for this video. So I'll see you on the next one. Goodbye.